Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Wow. I'm sorry that I stunned you into silence. I'm Jennifer. I work here. Welcome. Who's in the Greene Space for the very first time ever? Whoa, a lot of people. How'd you hear about the show? Podcasts. Oh, you guys listen to podcasts? Well, good, because this is going to be a podcast. We'll get more on that later. Well, thank you for coming. I'm really happy you're here. We do a lot of different things in the studio. We do record podcasts. We do live radio. We make video. We do art, theater, dance. If you can do it live and it's legal, we do it here. So all you first time, I hope you will come back, sign up for our newsletter or follow us on socials and see more things. We do a lot of podcasts. So a few requests tonight. If you haven't already, silence your phones. We want to tune out the world as we go on this adventure together. And because we're making a podcast, we're going to do something that is a little weird if it's your first time making audio with other humans. It's called recording room tone, and it is the sound of everyone just awkwardly being silent and breathing. For real. So we're just going to do that for like 10 seconds starting now. Oh my God, it's so weird, right? Okay, whew, all right, shake it off. All right, so now here's the better part. It's the clapping, and it's not because you're not gonna clap legit during this show, because you are, but this is just for the audio engineers if they need to make it sound even clappier for that real FOMO vibe. So if you don't mind, let's do like it's 7:11 p.m. in New York City, yo. Okay, let's pretend you just want a new car. So that was kind of a trick because it's New York. What are you gonna do with that? I should have said like a super loaded Metro card. I don't know, whatever. I think that's great. I think we're good. Those sounded good. I'm just looking at the people who know in the back. They're saying yes. Thank you, Ricardo. And James. James in the back, everybody. Did you get your tarot read by Amber, by the way? Okay, Amber is in the, hi there. Amber is in the lobby. She also works for the Greene Space, so I hope if you haven't, you'll check her on the way out. Last question, is anyone a member of WNYC or WQXR? Yes. We are listener-supported public radio. The vast majority of our budget here for everything that we do comes from listeners who donate and support. So thank you to everyone who is. And if you are not a member yet, you probably need another tote bag, so get it. Now, your hosts tonight are so fantastic. You obviously already know who they are. I'm not gonna tell you all about them. They're gonna tell anyone who is here not knowing how great the MashUp Americans are a little bit more about their show in a second. But they've been here many times on this stage, have done phenomenal things, and I have no doubt that you are really going to enjoy this show. So give it up right now for Amy Choi and Rebecca Lehrer.
Oops, I already started crying.
Oh boy, oh boy.
It's not a big deal.
We're here for a show, guys.
Hey.
I just want to make sure I'm decent.
No, that's
okay.
That was the plan.
Yeah. No.
Okay, yeah.
You guys came in for a good show. Hi, I'm Amy Choi.
Hi, and I'm Rebecca Lehrer, and we're the MashUp Americans.
Yay!
Woo!
We are so excited to be here today as the artist in residence. I'm so nervous, you guys. Why am I so nervous right now? We are here today as the artist in residence at the Greene Space. We are so excited because there's nobody that we revere more than artists, that we honor, that we want to aspire to be, that we aspire to be. And I think just the fact that we are here creating this story together with all of you tonight is just magic.
Yeah, we're here. We're here because being rooted in our traditions and looking to the future, examining what it means to be American today and creating what it means to be American today, that's our art. And in this moment where it sometimes, sorry, it's very tender right now. It sometimes feels like our humanity is being tested. We could not be more grateful to be here with you all, creating this story, so thank you.
We cry a lot.
Yeah, it's too
We do a
much. I'm
lot.
so sorry.
We do a lot.
I'm
we were
just
gonna make a
like-
joke about crying, but it's
Then it
we're
already
actually now just already
happened. It
doing
was
it.
like,
So it's here we
We
are.
dissociated backstage. We've been doing a lot of, it's like a huge journey we're on.
Oh my God.
Not even plant-based medicine, just like us.
No, but
This is just natural. That's for another episode. So, you know, what are we going to talk about? We're, you know, as I said, I'm, you know, incredibly tender right now in all the mashiest ways as as a Jew in the diaspora and as a mother and as a child of immigrants and as a human. I'm feeling a lot of ancestral grief, kind of like at a cellular level, and pain and sorrow for all of humanity. But I'm also in need of people and community and all of you. And so this is kind of the opposite of the internet for us and a lot of good healing. So I'm very happy to be here with you.
I'm happy you're here too.
Oh my God, it's
Oh
really
my
good.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We're
So
here-
anyways, I'll try not to cry again. Sorry about that.
No, you can cry. We'll cry. There's a lot of tears to be had. But, you know, this is exactly also why we're here, why we do this work, is that I think what we have found is that what is like so healing and important and joyful and great for us, we have been lucky enough to find out that it is healing and joyful and great for our people. And that is everybody that is in here. And so we're so happy that you're here.
Oh yeah, and this is, speaking of dreams come true.
Why did you put your mic so close?
I just need everyone to know how close this dream is. So
Oh my God.
our guest this evening, our first guest, is one of our heroines, author and Queen of New York, Min Jin Lee. She has not only written my favorite book of all time, other than Pride and Prejudice, she is a writer and former lawyer from Elmhurst, Queens, by way of Seoul, Korea. She's the author of the novels Free Food for Millionaires and Pachinko, a finalist for the National Book Award and a New York Times bestseller. Min is the recipient of the 2022 Manhae Grand Prize for Literature from South Korea. She is the editor of the Best American Short Stories 2023, out next week.
The first Korean American to do so.
And only the third Asian American to do so. And she is also our fashion hero. So with
You
that,
guys, the stress of figuring out what to wear
Yeah.
next to Min Jin Lee.
like, you wouldn't be surprised that we're all wearing jackets.
No,
Okay,
it
just
was-
so
there
that's if
was
you
a
want to
lot going
go.
on.
That
There
was
was a
just
lot happening.
You're gonna see. Anyway, so let's welcome Min Jin Lee to the stage. All
You're
right.
here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's here.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna start crying too.
Sorry. I did it. Sorry.
I'm famous for crying. I'm always crying.
Really?
Constantly. And I actually did an event where this doctor approached me and said, you know, you could take Paxil.
Oh, excuse me.
But he meant it in a nice way. But I read it, I heard it as criticism.
Rude.
I know he meant it in a nice way.
I will welcome your tears any day.
Also, of course, you heard it as criticism. You're
What
a model
what an
minority. That's how we hear everything.
Wait, hang on. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. And also, good evening, New York out there on Charlton Street.
Well, so, Min, you have inspired us in literally countless ways. We're huge fans of your books, your writing, your style, your way of being in the world. And one of the things that you said to us recently that I think struck both of us, because it was such a clear definition of the way that you exist, is that...
Just to be clear, when you said it, I cried.
Yes, is that, well, I think the question was, how do you deal with your rage? And you said, I am pleasant and difficult. And that was just like everything that we want to be able to be. We want to be pleasant, but we also want to make sure that we can make change that is often very difficult. So I just wanted you, could you share a little bit about what that means for you?
Well, I think I'm always upset. Because I'm from New York.
And you're Korean.
And also, I'm awake.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Right? I'm awake and I'm alert. And I think that if you're half awake and you're taking the subway, you should be upset. Like, the world is so unfair. and people are so mean. And then there are also these moments of grace. So I keep thinking I can't change everything, but I can change a couple of things. And so I have to be difficult, especially as an older person. I'm 54, and I feel very responsible for my young people. Some of my young people are here tonight. And
Oh, hey.
students, researchers, people that I love. And
People whose husbands are nervous to meet you.
right, where is he? One of my former researchers got married, so we just embarrass her right now. But anyway, and I guess for me, I keep thinking I have to be difficult because I have to do the right thing. However, I want it to happen, so I have to be pleasant. And I can be so fucking pleasant.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the most. But okay, well,
You
so-
also talked about a little, the idea of like being hyper competent.
Yeah.
And how does that play in for you to being like the first and bringing people up with you?
Well, because of the way patriarchy works, because of the way white supremacy works, because of the way colonialism works,
it's such a fucking bummer.
it's such a fucking bummer if we don't do things perfectly. So even though I am critical of this idea of being a model minority, and I am, I also notice that if we mess up for other people. So I'm not interested in model minorityism for me. I've already done that. Like, I have a job, I'm okay. But I do notice that if I do something well, they will invite other Koreans.
Right.
They will allow other Asian Americans to do things. And I actually say things like, it wouldn't be terrible if it's not just me this year, that you could have another Korean next year. and they look at me like, because
We
sometimes
thought
you
we
can't.
checked that box.
Right. And I'm like, no, I'm not enough because I don't believe in tokenism. And I will say it in my difficult, but with a smile.
So I think one of the things that we admire so much about your work and that we always try and bring into ours is this idea of being deeply rooted in our traditions and knowing ourselves and also using that to write a new future, right? The stories that we have are not static, the culture that we live in is not static, and that what we get to bring forward is something that we create. It's not something necessarily that has already existed. And so, you have written so many different kinds of things, but when you're writing fiction, like what does fiction bring to you? Is writing fiction a way of telling a different kind of truth?
Well, writing fiction is a way for me to imagine a new world. Like, all I see is chaos around me. I see inequality, cruelty, and I'm trying to figure out, well, how do I make things better? Very few things can I control 100%.
Right.
I can control what happens on my page. And I try very hard to create as much research as possible and then to create a narrative in which I'm envisioning a new world. If I'm just replicating what I see, that's photography in a way. And I'm not trying to put down photography, that's very hard to do. But I'm not keeping a record, I'm actually keeping a record and I'm imagining a new future. And I do think that's important. The other thing that's really cool about writing, and I'm sure you guys have experiences, is that you become a different person after you finish writing something. So I'm always trying to tell my students, if you can learn something new about yourself in the process of this journey, then that's when you know you won.
It's interesting because I think, when we read Pachinko, we were like, oh, fuck, we wish that there was a Pachinko for like every single culture. Like that we could get.
Or just history classes of
Which is
all
all
kinds. Just have like,
Pachinkos.
there was like, and this is where you actually read a beautiful history that takes you through this entire period that's exquisitely written and very humane.
Yes. And just that it was such a service to us and to like anybody who picks up this book to read it. And does it feel like a service to you? Like, do you write for your readers or do you write for yourself?
I don't write for myself. People often say that. I've heard so many famous writers say, I write only for me. And I think, well, that's a diary. I have probably lost a lot of friends right the second. Like, a lot of my friends who are writers have said this, and I always just think, well, that's interesting. Like, of course I wanted to write the things that I wanted to read, but I also would like you to read it.
Right.
which means that I need to think about your pleasure and your tolerance and your clarity. And I always think about like having dinner at my house. Like if you come to dinner at my house,
I want to be invited.
okay.
Just a public peer pressure, nothing better.
It's gonna work, you guys.
Like I will be thinking about sparkling water and flat. I will be thinking about olives and chips, and I'll be thinking about dessert. Like I want to close strong, so I'll be thinking about dessert.
Absolutely.
But I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about your pleasure.
Yes.
So not just nourishment, that's important, but it's also about your pleasure. And I want you to remember things. I want you to have emotional responses to that evening. That's just for dinner.
Right.
So imagine what I'm thinking when I'm creating a book, and because you're giving me 20 hours of your life. I mean, if you buy a copy of one of my books, at this point, I think I make $1.22. That's it. I know. But
Look, you made $3.66 right
that's
there.
exciting.
That's very good.
But more than that, you have given me 20 hours of your life and your attention. And I think that in the 21st century, to give somebody else 20 hours of your attention, that's an incredible thing. So I better make it worthwhile.
Right.
I do think that. And when I read shitty books, I get so irritated.
Do you finish them?
Oh, I'm not going to name names because I bet you know her. But I recently read a book, and Amy's like, "Why don't you stop?" And I was like, I was so angry.
You hate Reddit.
But then I felt that in order to officially say how much I hated it, I had to finish it.
Right.
Anyways, that's how I also felt about The Fountainhead. I was like, which we all know is a shitty book, so that's different. But yes, I feel so angry about it. Why are you wasting my time?
I know.
Because they're bad writers.
Yeah.
Well, but then people say they're good, and I'm like, who are they? Why are they saying that? Okay, sorry.
No, I hear you.
That is the opposite of how I felt about your books,
Thank
which I
you.
stayed up all night, unfortunately, reading for like a full week and didn't get any sleep and had to take my little children to school. But
Thank
It's a real journey.
the best, the absolute best book ever.
Thank you. God.
Yeah.
You know, no.
I could
He's not
leave
trying
right
to make you
now.
feel awkward
Leave
now.
right now. Thank you.
So we have some, Korean questions, obviously, right?
Do you want to ask them?
I love to ask
Okay,
Korean
ask some
questions.
Korean questions.
Rebecca is Korean.
Well, you
Yes.
know what? I am an award-winning Asian
She's an
American
award-winning
podcaster.
podcaster. It's true. It's true.
And
No, I have a certificate if you're my back.
yes,
Yeah.
and I we'll never forget it. I think we've been thinking a lot about what it means when something is cool, that is your identity, and the sort of epic moment of Koreanness.
That's you and me.
That's you
That's a
guys.
lot of people in here. Look at this.
I
Look
don't,
at this room.
and you're going to see Eric Nam tonight, right?
I am.
Uh-huh.
I am.
And recently Stephen Yoon was at the Busan Film Festival, and he said the Korean wave is deeply healing. What has been your experience of that, connecting into this like big pop culture moment of Koreanness globally?
Well,
It doesn't have to be healing.
no, it's funny. I like Stephen.
Pleasant and difficult.
And difficult.
That was not really a flex. No, I like Stephen. He's a really good actor. And I don't know why he said it's healing for him, but I imagine that if you say something is healing for you, that means it was an injury, a source of injury, right? So we have to look at not the outcome, but the source. So if you look at the source of the injury, that means that somebody did something to you. So when I meet Asians and Asian Americans who don't like what they are or who they are or have been made to feel uncomfortable, I always ask, well, who did this to you? What happened? And it's important. That said, for me, I think that in this moment of Hallyu cresting, I actually think it's going to keep going. One of the things I have been doing for the past 30 years is talking about how complex it is to be Korean and to not make generalizations about who Koreans are and what they represent and why they are popular now. I get this question all the time, actually, from Koreans from the peninsula. They always, put a microphone and go, why do they like us now? And I say, well, I don't really think of it that way because they don't really know us.
Oh.
Because they have to know you and me, and we're all different. And also, I've interviewed so many Koreans around the world, and I've heard very, very painful things. So most of the things that I hear are actually painful things. They're not prideful things. So that makes me feel really sad.
What makes you feel proud?
I think our resilience in the light of so much oppression, so much difficulty. I think when I think about the miracle of the Han, which is this whole idea that Korea was an incredibly poor country, and only in the past 40, 50 years you've seen this rise, where young people are thinking Samsung is cool, which is interesting. I think what makes me feel really proud is the fact that even though things are really difficult, people are persisting. That fills me with pride. I always want to give more love to Korean people because I feel like they're not loved enough. I really don't think they're loved enough. And when I meet individuals, especially young people, I always kind of think, you're really remarkable. Why do you not feel this way? So that makes me feel really sad. So here, you asked me what I was happy about, and I gave you the sad answer.
It's very Korean of you, man.
I know.
It's so
I didn't
Korean.
want to say it, but
My God. Well, you're also a New Yorker.
I am.
And
I'm actually a very proud New Yorker. Yeah.
how does New York shape? We've talked. I think we have an idea of like how your Koreanness has shaped you. How does your New Yorkness shape you in your writing?
Well, I don't forget people who in the corners of the room. I think when you're a New Yorker, you are always aware of how many people it takes to make this thing happen. You live in such proximity to so many people who are different than you in terms of every choice, religion, sexuality, socioeconomic class, neighborhood, regionalism, wishes. Like, you know, you can meet somebody who wants desperately to be a singer in New York, and you can meet somebody who wants desperately to be an architect.
yeah.
That in the same room, same subway train. And you can also meet people who are technically supposed to hate each other, sitting next to each other, talking about, hey, where did you get those shoes? You know, and I think that's what I love about New York.
Do you think that, so you immigrated as a child from Seoul to Queens. How, and Queens I feel like is, you know, truly the
Mashiest.
mashiest
The
place on
greatest
earth.
borough in New York.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Greatest.
we got a Arsenio situation over there.
Do you think that being, like, growing up in Queens in particular gave you that kind of diasporic experience or like a sense of what it meant to have all these communities kind of working in concert?
Well, when you're from Queens, you don't really think of race so much as country and ethnicity. So, like, you don't think of white people or black people. You think
I was
of
just going to say, do we have to think about white people?
No, I mean, it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's that you're thinking, oh, he's Irish or Italian, and she's Jamaican
Yes.
or she's Haitian, because that's who your neighbors are.
Yes.
And it's really nice. And if you meet somebody who's Jewish, you don't make these dumb statements because you're going, well, there's Ashkenazi, there's Sephardic,
Right.
there's first generation, there's fourth generation. And people have to, you could be conservative, you could be Orthodox, you could be Reformed.
Right.
And that just, like in second grade, you figure that out
Right.
in New York. And it's nice. It's
Yeah.
nice because you're not going to be a jerk about it when other people are going through something. You're going like, oh, where is she coming from? Like, what is he thinking about? And
That's very human.
it's really not, actually, it's worked out really well in my favor. I don't think I realized what a gift it is to have come from Queens until I left Queens and I went to Yale and New Haven, and I met people, and they were, how should I say this nicely?
You don't have to. It doesn't have to be nice.
They were so used to their own way of seeing things, which was so simple. So you had all these really, really smart, attractive people, and they could be so simple.
Yes.
And that made
Parochial
me feel really
provincial.
sad. And they thought they were right because they were actually in some way so much more fluent and cosmopolitan than I was. But then I thought, yeah, but you don't know how to take subway.
Did you know that when you were in college, did you have that sense? I mean, this is another thing about Korean BDE, you know, Korean swagger. Did you come in there and be like, when you saw that, how long did it take you to sort of know, no, that's only your way. That's not even, because that was the dominant culture, let's say, of Yale.
I think I had it because I am from Queens and because, I'm not sure if it's the Korean part. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just saying the sense of who you are.
Who I am. And you know what? I was pushed around a lot at Yale. And the more you push me, the harder I get. So I really will not back down. Like if I think you're unfair, I will not back down. If I think that if you're not nice, I will really not back down.
Ugh, I love to bully a bully.
You're so good at it.
I love a bullier too. Like this is, we're gonna talk to Channing Nicholas about our astrology signs later, but like this feels very good.
Well, you also have said that you were a super late bloomer.
Yes.
And
Yes.
can you tell our audience a little bit about, you know, what it was like growing up?
Well, I was a late bloomer, not just professionally. I published my first book when I was 38, after starting to write it at 25.
Took a long time.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, everybody here.
You too might win a National Book Award.
But I was also a late bloomer when it came to making friends. So even now, I'm a little confused. I think because I'm a little spectrum-y, I take people fairly literally when they say, I wish for this. Like if Amy says, I wish to come to your house for dinner, I'm literally thinking, oh, must invite Amy to dinner.
Wait. This has like absolutely been our goal. So
Oh my God, it's happening!
literally, yes.
Right, but then if she didn't come,
I will
she
come.
will
I will
But-
be there. What should I bring?
But yes, you're.
but if she
yes.
didn't come, a part of me would just think like, oh, you misread that social cue.
Oh, interesting.
So that's what I mean by, because I have met so
If
many.
I am not there, it means I am dead on the West Side Highway. It's like there's no other reason.
She'll abandon her
Speaking
family.
of Dead in the West Side Highway, I had a dinner party where David Chang was coming from Momofuku, and he actually got into a car accident on the West Side Highway.
Okay, so that was a bad
So,
joke. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, David.
Sorry, to that man.
He's absolutely fine. It was absolutely fine.
It
but
did happen.
Literally, like, he called me, he's like, I was in a car accident with 3 other people. That was terrifying.
Oh, God.
Boy.
But I don't like it when people aren't sincere. And actually, in New York, I have met so many charismatic, really intoxicatingly seductive people. And they say things, and you're going, really? Are you serious? Like, I don't know. Sometimes like, I kind of think, oh, I guess that's just the way of their being in the world. So I don't know.
They would do better to be more pleasant and difficult.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question. So we read that as a student, you hoarded syllabi from classes you weren't taking.
Yes.
And we've talked with several people that we admire about how their ability to be humble as students is what makes a great life. What is being a student, what does it look like to maybe be a student for life? Like, how are you learning regularly?
Well, Henry James says that you should be a person on whom nothing is lost. So be a person on whom nothing is lost, which means that you are always paying attention. And one of the things that I really worry about Gen Z, the generation that I love the most, is they are really worried. And they're really anxious because they have taken this idea and they're paying attention to everything. So a part of me thinks, yes, be an eternal student, but another part of me just goes, that's not important.
Yeah.
It's going to get better. And I really worry about that. And I keep thinking, how can they, when they have a fire hose of information
Yes.
coming 24/7, which never stops? I remember reading a newspaper on paper.
Yeah.
And I would read it and put it away and then walk on with my day. And there were decades in my life when I didn't even have time to read the newspaper. And now you can't escape it 24/7. So if you take this idea of being a person on whom nothing is lost, of being an eternal student, in some ways it can cause paralysis. So I really, really worry, and I try to figure out ways for kids to kind of go, you know what, can we just put down the phone?
Maybe it's reading books.
like for a couple of hours. Because I love you. Please put down the phone.
They could spend $1.22 and
Right.
get one of these guys.
You could get your brain back. Yeah.
Read some Dostoevsky.
No. The Russians are beyond me. So
Crime
we
and
have,
Punishment's really good.
What?
Crime and Punishment's really good.
I
Anna
was saying
Karenina
that
is so good.
I was joking though that if I was personally comparing Pachinko and Anna Karenina the other day, so never mind. But I was like, I just in Anna Karenina, I'd be like, oh, they're in the field again, and I just like, I know what I understand what we're doing here, and I now didn't skip one word of Pachinko. So that's one critic's comparison of Min
Thank you,
Jin Lee and
Rebecca.
Dostoevsky.
well, we have.
We have the same birthday.
Really?
I
have the same
wonder what
birthday.
Chaney Nicholas would say about that.
My birthday's the same as James Joyce, 100 years to the day, which
Oh.
may be
To
why
which
I'm
I
so
say
weird.
yes, 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 yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody got that.
You can't stop us from being,
If you know, you know.
you know.
God. Well, we have two more questions for you. One is, it actually has to do with everything that we were talking about here today, and I think Rebecca's tenderness and what's happening in the world, and just like being able to understand today with what we understand from history. And the opening line of Pachinko is, history has failed us, but no matter. And what does that mean? Like, what can we take from that today?
I think that resistance is powerful. The willingness to love and to laugh and to remember and to extend grace, to persist, that is a revolution. And the bad guys win when we despair. Despair is not enough. So for me, when I think about history as failing us, because let's think about what's going on in Azerbaijan right now with the Armenians, for example. We can consider what they're going through, and historians are going to dispute the interpretation of what's going on. We can think about the Rohingya Muslims who are being expelled from their country, and we can agree or disagree. However, these are individuals who no longer have a home. If you look at what's going on, the UNHCR will tell you that there are over, I think, 100 million displaced people right now in the world. So history is failing all of them, and how we're going to remember what's happening to them is one thing, but what they decide to do, how we get food and water to every single person. And I think the crisis of leadership has always been present. I think about that a lot. But I really am so inspired by resistance, the individual's willingness to be kind, to be loving, to be forgiving. A crazy word. Because we're not going to get anywhere unless we forgive each other.
Some repentance and repair.
And also truth-telling. Because I think that's the insult of people who are asked to forgive. It's without the truth. And I think that when I think about the Truth and Reconciliation Committee and the work they did, it started out with truth, and then the reconciliation can occur.
What's your vision for MashUp America?
You know, the simple answer, I want to say in the top note, is a kind of joyfulness about our complexity. There's so much joy in being mashed up. And I really wish that people would just recognize that the mashed up American is the American. Really. So just even that would bring me a sense of relief. Don't you think you'd feel relief?
Well,
if you-
also
Oh,
that
every
means we
day.
would have defined the literal future of America. So yeah,
Right.
feels good.
But it's today.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
today.
It's today.
Yeah.
We're here,
We're here. We're resisting.
and we're not going away.
Oh,
No.
can't stop me. I am here.
Well, okay.
Okay, so we're pretty obsessed with your
We
social
could
media
literally
presence.
talk to you also.
Well,
for
I will
hours.
actually. This isn't. I'll keep you here, but you do have to go to Eric Knob.
You have to go to Eric.
And
Another
Eric is
Korean.
waiting.
so
Eric is waiting.
we've been obsessed with Min Jin's Instagram presence, like in a way that I have
Might be
before
unhealthy.
being so lucky to actually know her, I regularly forward Amy her Instagrams. And so, and to wrap, we want to do an homage to one of our favorite interviewers, who's not a mashup, Sean Evans, who does Hot Ones, where they eat chicken wings and ask hard questions. So we wanted to show some Instagrams and ask you for
Without hot wings, yes.
No, you don't have to do that.
not today. I wish we did have them, but to tell us a little bit more about what's happening. So we're going to start with this first one. What's happening in this picture?
And also, this is her dashing husband, who is also here
Yes.
somewhere. But
Yes.
can you please explain
What is this elegance?
what is going on right now at the White House?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, so I want to just explain my capacious bag.
Wait, that is amazing. What an eye for detail. I didn't even notice it. I was just so focused on the movement.
Well, I mean, first of all, I can't believe they have this person from Queens at the White House, so that's one. But the capacious bag is really important because there's some shoes in there.
Oh my God.
So now you know. There
Now
were
we know.
shoes in there because I'm wearing these really expensive high heels that I had bought, and I got permission from my friend to wear them because I had a broken toe.
Your friend, the podiatrist.
No, he's actually a really famous orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy, he's a radiologist, forgive me, orthopedic radiologist for the LA Rams and people like that.
Okay.
And he said, I'm signing off on this. It can only wear for like an hour. So I had
Capacious bag.
extra shoes in there.
Oh, that explains. Thank you for the Mary Poppins
Yeah.
bag. Okay, next image. Okay, so this is something that has
I'm sorry,
given
but look
me
at your
joy.
face.
I think
Look
everyone
at your
needs to do a
face.
pretty close, like just this look at those eyes. What's happening here?
Yeah, what's happening?
I'm not mad at Daniel, I promise.
Are you mad at Chuck Schumer?
No,
Are you mad at
no,
Jeremy
he's a
Lin?
really nice guy. No, they're all really, so what happened was,
Also, Jeremy Lin does not look that much taller than you there.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Jeremy is, I think, like 6'3". Is he 6'3", something like
don't
that?
This is like a
Maybe.
Penn and Teller situation.
Right.
Perspective. Okay, so
So-
why are you making this face?
So there were a bunch of Asian Americans. We went to Congress to talk about the violence against Asian Americans, especially post-Trump era. So we went there essentially to lobby and to say, hey, we're paying attention. You better, pay attention to us too. And of course, Senator Schumer saw us, and he took us out on this beautiful balcony. And I think Daniel's telling a story, and for some reason, I made that face, and I can't remember why.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because I look like such a bitch.
Yeah.
This is actually,
This was what started my obsession with
this
the
is,
photos.
what you are wearing right here is my dream.
Yeah.
If I would like to be
After the
like-
dinner party, you're going shopping. Okay,
Yes,
so the
thank you.
final image that we have is what's happening here.
Look at you and
They
your-
needed an old person to go to that party. I was invited to the Helmut Lang after party, and I
just
wasn't,
real cash.
but I
big
wasn't
deal.
gonna go because it's late,
Yeah.
and Mom has to go to bed. But Tiffany Young, who I had dinner with the night before, said, "Oh, they really want you to come. Can you come?" And it was really hard to say no to Tiffany Young. And then I was there.
And then there was Young Mancino.
And there was Young
And then there
Mazzino, who's
was
an Emmy
Eric.
nominated for Beef, and then there's Eric now. But the really crazy thing, I don't have my phone with me, but Young Mazzino had apparently attended one of my book events
Really?
6 years before, and I had taken a selfie with him, and he showed it to me. So
very
I
sweet.
should have sent you that picture because he looks like he's 12.
I mean, he might have been 12
might have
6
been.
That
years
says
ago.
something about how Asians age. They do say.
Oh, I thought you were going to say how impactful a selfie with Min Jin Lee was. But also that.
You
also
know,
that.
there's so many things.
You
to
too
say.
will win an Emmy nomination if you take a picture of me.
There's a lot of good vibes here.
Yes.
Well, we have to get you to a K-pop concert tonight.
I do.
And
I love Eric Nam.
I've been working on my heart fingers, but
You
No,
gonna pull one
this is
out?
this is what you're supposed to do. It's like, oh wait, hang on, I brought you something. You don't know that one?
now I do. Well, we're just so grateful to you for
Thank
making
you.
this time and getting now we'll never let you go.
I know. We weren't supposed to stand and change the mics, but I got to.
Yeah, we're gonna say
Min Jin.
thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, and tell Eric
I
that
love
we
you
said
guys.
We love you.
my God, you guys.
Okay.
I'm sweating.
All right.
I'm going to go to a dinner party.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Don't go on the West Side Highway.
No, I won't.
I'm nervous. Okay, so our next guest is Chani Nicholas. Chani is a Los Angeles-based New York Times best-selling author, and with a community of over 1 million monthly readers, she has been a counseling astrologer for more than 20 years, guiding people to discover and live out their life's purpose through understanding their birth chart. And, well, we have a lot of questions for her. Welcome, Chani Nicholas.
Hi, Chan.
Oh, wow. This is fun. I already cried, so I'm fine now.
She got it out. She got it out. So, Chani, hi.
Hi.
Hi. We're not going to ask you to read the future for us, but only just like a little bit of it.
Oh.
Okay. So it's like no big deal. But so I think for our listeners and our other people in the room, we would like to do some scene setting. So there appears to be like a lot of stuff happening out there right now, right? There's like an eclipse.
There is an
are
eclipse,
things.
yeah.
Can you tell us just like what is happening in the stars right now, and what can we do to be prepared and open for it?
Always
It's gonna be
tough
so
questions.
easy, no big deal.
Yeah. So this week, there's the first, so eclipses happen every 6 months, and they generally happen in pairs. And eclipses are, of course, when the light of the sun or the moon like goes out, gets literally eclipsed, diminishes, changes color, all of these things. So if we think of the sun and moon as our vital life force, the sun and moon are the symbols of life. Both like literally the sun gives us life, and also symbolically because they're associated with light and we're dependent on it, right? So through an astronomical and kind of like biological level, it's obvious with the sun, but the moon also teaches us a lot about, well, math and cycles and like where we are in time and space. So the cycles of the sun, cycles of the moon have always, for all of human history, humankind, taught us how to locate ourselves in a kind of secular time, right? So they're very important in our kind of conscious awareness and our conscious development. Historically, if you look back at like ancient artifacts, you'll see like little lines carved in sticks or bones. And yes, they correlate to both the menstrual cycle, but also the cycles of the moon because it's same. Mm-hmm. And so, we're very connected to, dependent on these things. So lights, life. So when they're eclipsed, I haven't really talked about this publicly because this week has been so intense, and I don't ever want to try to astrologize something that is so deeply tragic. But it's a kind of obvious correlation. So when light is eclipsed, it feels like life gets a little unstable. And so it doesn't always feel like that on every eclipse. We have them 2 of each every 6 months. But there's something about the nature of our power source, the sun, being unstable. So us not knowing where the light is or where the power is. And so it makes us feel a little unsure. Humans have always been like a little afraid of eclipses because we don't want the sun to go out.
Also a great song, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yes. This eclipse is a solar eclipse. It's the first eclipse that we've had in Libra near the South Node for a couple of decades, since 2004. So it's a new type of thing. It is an event that is like, okay, what is this? Is a new chapter of this event. Libra is the sign of justice and of equality and of understanding both sides of a situation and of understanding when something is out of balance, when something needs to be rearranged on the scales of justice for something like equity and harmony to possibly occur. So that's this week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder where that could apply.
I don't know.
Oh, boy. There's so much poetry in it, actually, in the...
Yeah, like I don't care if you believe in astrology,
but it's really poetic.
Symbolically, it really
Yeah.
is it's a very thoughtful system that has been boiled down to, albeit funny, but memes,
You do, so Chani's actually on our podcast this week, so you can listen to a whole long episode where we talk a lot together, but you are very good at memes.
No, but I don't.
Well,
the ones I post aren't the ones I make.
Well, of course, but
Curator
you know
of
that
media.
as I
Curator.
told you on our show, I didn't know. I kind of didn't know the difference. I didn't know
It's
there
called
was
labor.
someone who made. That's the thing.
Creativity and
You're good
output.
at curating memes
Thank you.
that are connected to the thing.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of poetry to this and the symbolism here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then how do we, talk about it and be respectful and hold like the complexities of the moment? And not, because astrology is used as so much clickbait too. So, yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about us?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you.
A relief.
So not to be too self-absorbed about what's going on, but you're here. So the MashUp Americans are entering into our 10th year
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
I know. So, and we, Rebecca and I met, for anybody who doesn't know our story, through her husband, who is my best friend from high school. And it always just feels like we were fated.
Beshert.
Beshert.
Yeah.
Beshert. And so we have given you our charts.
Yes.
And we wanted to know, what do the stars say about the future
This
of
promance.
Oh my God, she's putting on her glasses now.
You also have a proman. I mean, you work with your spouse too.
Yeah, it's more of a romance.
Right.
That's
That's
I
different.
absolutely was. You're absolutely correct.
I mean, I'm not quite sure about the setup,
I
but-
absolutely stand corrected. I take it back.
Okay, so there's also like the chart of your first moment of
Yeah.
coming. There's like the chart of MashUp America, Americans, sorry, and so there's that piece of it. But I want to say like 2025 is going to be like a major kind of like breakthrough shift, change thing that you're doing. So that is like both in your personal lives, but your setup, in case you didn't know, your integration of the two of you is exceptional for your careers. And this is why. So all that stuff I was saying about the light of the moon being really important. So Rebecca's moon.
I've been waiting for this my whole life. I am so sorry, but I am so happy right now. Okay, go on.
Rebecca's incredibly chatty Gemini moon in Gemini, is the ruler of her chart. So it tells us the direction of her life. So it's a very important planet for her to understand, live into, and the ways in which she lives out her life's purpose is by talking and communicating and learning and exchanging information. And her moon is sitting on your, what we call midheaven, so the highest point
I
in
knew
your...
it was there. Oh my God.
The highest point in the sky when you were born is correlated, we all have one, to your career and who you are out in the world. So her destiny, her like life's purpose is lived out so well in a form of communication through your way of being out in the world. Not only that,
Wait, I like that way you said that better than when you said you're sitting on her. Like that felt like I was like snuffing her out, and I don't like that.
so also your midheaven, your highest point in your chart, your place of like moving out into the world and doing your thing, your Venus, planet of love and relationship and beauty and culture and art making, is connected to at the same point as Rebecca's. So,
I'm actually gonna cry.
no. And I want you to say, like, the moon moves really fast, right? Like, it changes shape every day. It's one of the most personal things in your chart because it's so speedy. And so the fact that your moon is on her midheaven, and the midheaven moves really fast too, is very, very personal to the two of you. It's not just like generational or something like that. So that's very personal. So, and when someone's moon is close to something personal for you, you feel like they're home. They are home to you.
Oh, no.
And
You got her.
and the career also is something that, like, Rebecca's kind of makeup helps to reflect back to the public things that are really important for both of you. And Venus is a planet that's about magnetism and beauty, and your midheaven and your Venus come together.
Bless you.
And
Bless you.
because both planets are connected to women and femmes and issues of like gender and even like conception and everything that's, you know, connected to those things, that I don't know if you like have a little bit of a focus on issues that might impact
Women.
people that maybe.
Oh,
Oh my God.
don't get me started.
Okay. Okay.
So
Then my misandry comes out.
Yeah, yeah, and it's in your midheaven is in Aries, so it's very action oriented. You move into the world in a very bold way, in a way that's going to get attention for your ability to be driven and to use it. And your Venus is right there, so your way of connecting is also like really bold and fiery. And both of you live that out in the world.
Wow, Jenny. Oh my God.
It's very
This
special.
feels actually very exposing.
Oh my God. Woo, woo.
I have more, but
Oh, well, so I think one of the questions we had, you know, we're going to keep it on us
Yeah,
for a second,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
we can move out. But how can I support Rebecca more? Like, what can we do to grow the business, and like, how can I help her in the stars?
That's okay. So, I mean, you have so many points of connection. So there's just like a natural cohesion that happens. I think that like, so Rebecca has a Cancer rising.
That's a lot.
And you both actually have what we call the North Node, where eclipses happen. There's 2 points, the North and South Node. And you both have North Node in the first house. North Node is in mythological, like kind of poetic understanding. The ancients, a lot of different ancient cultures, thought there was a dragon that ate the sun or the moon when an eclipse happened. And so the North Node is the hungry head of the dragon. It's like
boy.
ferocious and insatiable. And you both have that in your rising sign. You both have that in the part of the chart that is only about you. So you're both really driven. And you know, you're both like ambitious. And so the ambition is a great thing that can kind of, you can spur each other on in a lot of ways. And also, somebody needs to be like, is this too much? Are we doing too much? Is this,
boy.
will we ever be satisfied? Is like, what does satisfaction
This is
mean?
now just getting rude.
Okay,
Jenny.
sorry. And you can support it because you have this like incredible ability to critique things with your Virgo rising, but not only because she's also got Saturn there. So you are, you know, really good at doing, and I called it, you know, you've got the chart of like sage or Senex. Do you know the archetype of the Senex?
No.
The archetype of the Senex is kind of in opposition to what we call like the puer. This is very like Jungian, but the puer is like the eternal youth, like a Peter Pan.
Did you just call me old?
Nope.
No,
Okay.
very young at heart.
Okay.
God.
But that there's the opposite of that is when a puer is around, like someone who's really young and innocent, but also kind of annoying. We get like someone has to get pushed into the opposite role, which is to like hold the line and be the responsible one and be like, that's cute, but we live in the real world and da 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 da. So you might sometimes get forced into that role in life, especially as a younger person, and then you can learn how to like own that and be like, I don't have to bear the responsibility of your. And so that's when you start to move into the more sage kind of place, right? And so that ability to be really discerning can be very helpful, I think, for Rebecca, because Rebecca can get like her thing is the like intuitive visionary, right? So you're
I'm a visionary.
you're like very feeling, and it's big feeling. So a little bit of the grounded, like, okay, let's like, you know, look at this, lay it out, be really practical. It can be really helpful.
How does this feel?
It feels terrific.
Okay, good. Okay,
Also,
good.
everyone should know my therapist is here as well. It's not a joke. Joy's right there. So she can later, you can ask her how this reflects other things. Well, okay, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I think what is so important for us in our work is, wow, I just got really loud. Sorry, I don't know where I am with my mic right now. Is how can we help? What can we do, or how are we positioned to help others? So I think otherwise we wouldn't be here doing this.
Yeah, I think the real beauty of your charts and the way they line up, I'm just reviewing how exactly, is that there is
There are symbols written on that piece of paper, you guys.
She knows so much.
There are just symbols.
I don't know even a tenth of this much about literally anything in the world.
So you have all of these points of connection between your moon and Venus and the other parts of your chart, like both from both angles. So I think what you help us do is to feel connected and to process feelings. Not that that's the only thing you need to do or help us out with, but it's a place within which we can feel reflected. And if we feel reflected, I think that is a form of harm reduction. I think the less reflected we feel in the world, the more harm is proliferated. And so I think that it's one of your gifts is to help people feel connected, and help people feel reflected, and help people probably process some feelings.
Well, that was the advertisement for the MashUp Americans. It's very much important for us, and we've discussed this before, to be of service and to live a life of service. That sounds like weirdly Christian, but it's not. Although
very Jewish.
That's a very beautiful part of Christianity.
Yeah.
It's just to be.
I do have Christian friends.
I have some Christian friends.
I know somebody.
Yeah, I heard. Jesus seemed cool. Just to be of service and to be in community and to do that work. And so it feels, for us, these things are meaningful, but even as symbolically, or to think, as we were talking about with Min, about storytelling and telling our stories and envisioning the world that we want, this is very, very powerful for us. So it's just a joy to get to and be in a place with you and like be in this world with you. And we're just grateful for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think, we're here tonight in a place of public media.
Yeah.
We're making public art. We want to be additive to the world.
Yeah.
And I think everybody that's here is here because they also want to create and be additive and positive in the world. And so what advice would you give, or what in a time that seems so tumultuous, how can we all like kind of gather what resources we have like in the universe that exists right now to make more and do more good?
I don't know if doing good is a good thing to focus on. So I think that what the most important thing, my therapist always says, stay human. Stay as close to your humanity as you possibly can. And from that place, I think we can do, to use like recovery speak, like the next indicated action, like the small things that we can do. What's the next? And they do say the next right thing, but
they also say that in Frozen.
Yes, well,
the movie.
You'll get there. Her baby's young. You'll get there.
But I say that, like, obviously we want to do good, but I think when we want to be good, we get into some really dangerous territory. Because the world is so unjust and it's so imbalanced and it's just rife with so much that to want to be good is to want to be kind of opposite in a way, and it's separating ourselves from what's happening. And of course, we live in this like age of like having to respond to everything automatically for attention, for visibility, and there's a lot of ways in which it can create this strange, performative and empty kind of structure. And so I want to stay really close to what makes us human and how complex that is, and how we can move through the day with dignity and self-respect and show up with what we've got when we've got it, when we can. And everything else, I think, does reveal itself. And I don't want people to think I'm a good person. I don't want to get addicted to that. I don't want to get hooked on that. Because to me, it's not about me being a good person. It's about doing things that create spaces where healing and justice can occur. And those are very practical, kind of like structural things that we can do, but I've got to come from a place of clarity about who I am and what my role is. So sorry to break the question.
We're about to play a little game, but before that, I want to say I think that really feels like one of the themes of this conversation about what the MashUp Americans is, which is about the gorgeous kaleidoscope of messiness and colorful, like how we're optimists, but I think it's in confronting hard things or dealing with the messiness is that's our optimism instead of moving away from it.
Yes.
And also, Min also addressed this. It's like, in New York, in Queens, being like, well, that's a person, that's an Italian, that's an Irish person, that person's Haitian and Jamaican. And that's so rich, and that's like the best thing about being human. I think that's what you're saying here too, and that's what our project is, and I think it's what we're trying to celebrate here together. So thank you for that. Good advertisement for the MashUp Americans.
Thank you, Channy.
All right, so we have a little game, which is that many of you submitted questions for Channy, and we are going to get a little bowl where we get to, and then you get a little bags for the question.
If your question gets selected,
yes,
we'll see what Channy has to say. Oh, there she is.
There is Amber, who's doing tarot in the lobby, and we'll be doing it afterwards as well. We do have a Garbage Pail Kids tarot deck as well.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you so much. I did buy that at the Crystal Store in Los Angeles, one of which there is on every single block. Okay, Amy.
Okay.
Question.
Natalie Chu.
Yeah. Okay, you don't have to stand up if you don't want to. There was a deep hiding lean happening. Okay.
Her question is, how do I know if a love is worth pursuing? Well,
I think that's the kind of question that people. This is a good question.
that's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah, how do you know?
Yeah. Do you? If we're questioning it, maybe that's the problem. No. I don't know. I'm just saying things.
I mean, I think that any relationship that you engage with that has energy in it, where there's energy there, is worth engaging in for as long as it is something that feels like it is helping you in ways to grow, maybe aggravating you, enticing you, encouraging you, cheerleading you, all of the things up against you in a way that is like a healthy kind of discomfort. I think when there's energy there and there's, all the other things that you want, I hope you want kindness, I hope you want accountability, I hope you want someone that is in their own integrity, then you pursue it and you see what it is. I know, like when I was in my 20s especially, I needed everything to be incongruous or congruous with my idea of it, of what it should be. And there was a way in which I lacked curiosity when I approached relationships because it was safer for me to cut people off when they didn't live up to a standard of mine that was completely, just in my own head. And so I did what I did and I needed to do it. But I think the place of curiosity and just asking yourself, is there energy here? Is this something that feels like I'm being encouraged by something greater than my ego or whatever you want to, But that's what I always say, go where the energy is.
Or go to the guy in Indian Matchmaker who's like, no.
Show their
face.
You show that person's face and their birth chart, and he's like, absolutely not. This is not auspicious. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to bring you a little bag. Here you go with books, a little MashUp bag.
You had so much reading. Woo! Okay. Woo!
Okay. All right. So Christine Bang.
She's right there.
Okay. So are there ever birth chart readings where you see it and your jaw drops, like hold the presses, that there's dash, M dash in here. Something major is urgent to relay. Can you tell us about one?
Oh boy.
Where you're like, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Danger.
Well, how do you mean? I mean, I look at the charts and there's something that leaps out at me about every chart because every moment in time is set up in a specific way, astrologically speaking. And so there is a symmetry or a discord or something jarring or, a planet is doing something that pulls focus, and that feels like it compels me to, want to go towards it and talk about it and explore it. And if I'm reading the chart of somebody whose work I know, then I'm very excited because I'm like, oh my, this is your life and this is your chart, and look at how you've been living your purpose out. Not because you knew about your astrology chart, but just because you were following something innate within you. And isn't that wild? Isn't that? So I have this job where I'm both like, there's some things like this week that are just eerie and you're like, ugh. And then there's most times I'm sitting with people and it's a mix, but most times I'm just in awe that there is this imprint in the sky when we're born that is like an incredible compass. And it is something that once somebody has lived it out without knowing it, it's there. So it's not a confirmation bias. So to me, I'm always just like struck by that. How gorgeous is that? And how many other places besides astrology is this kind of information about us and our humanity available?
Just because also me and James Joyce have very similar, when I write Dubliners.
Okay, you get a tote.
You get a tote.
Okay. This is from Sabrina Hua. Okay. What is one word of advice you would give during challenging times in the world? I think we're in some. How can we seek inspiration to remain optimistic and resilient from the stars?
Well, I think one thing that astrology always teaches us, which also history does, whether we learn from it or not is another thing, is that everything is cyclical, that we're in these moments and they have a beginning, middle, and end. Like astrology is pretty neat and tidy like that, actually. So if I see, someone's coming to me for a reading and they're in like a fuck shit of a transit, I got to be the bearer of bad news, but I also get to be the bearer of good news. It's like, and it ends, and there's other things that are going on, and life is never one note. And life is never one note. There's not just this tragedy happening right now. There's also, God willing, something else that could come through that might, in our wildest dreams, look like something akin to liberation. So we don't know why we're going through the things that we're going through. And if we have faith in ourselves in the process of it, then maybe it can lead us to something that feels like a very important transformation. And in that, I think the resiliency is a really important, I'm very obsessed with this word. It's obviously been misused in a lot of like social movements and stuff like that. But how do we foster a sense of resiliency in moments of great distress? And I think it's like understanding that we're in a part of a cycle and it does have a beginning, middle, and end. It's like if I'm in a really intense like workout and I'm like, okay, I got 15 reps of this really heavy weight, but I know it's gonna be hard. And I know it's going to leave me with like a couple more endorphins or however they're measured. And that's a great thing. And I'm going to feel better after it, or I'm going to feel like I did what I needed to do to strengthen myself. So when we're in these moments, how do we encourage that within us without being, thoughtless or heartless, to the suffering? But how do we say like, this is the thing we're being called to do and to grapple with in this moment. This is what it is. How can I say yes to the thing it is and have it be something that ultimately leaves me as a more resilient person who is focused? Because if we want to talk about like what next year is going to bring, there's obviously the reality of what we'll all have to go through, AKA the election. But astrologically, like what I could say about 2024 is that the most important thing for us to do is to focus. And it looks like it's going to be incredibly distracting, but you don't need astrology to tell you that. And how do we focus? How do we take the deranged wisdom of those that worked for 40, 50 years to dismantle Roe v. Wade and say, how did they focus? How did they not give up? How the hell did they rally for that long? How do we do that? How do we focus on the things that we are going to be relentless about, and then call that up within ourselves, and then call our communities to join us and get the thing done to the best of our ability?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I also like that you said fuck ship of a transit, because that feels
you.
like we've all done that, right?
Yes.
That's been horrible.
Yeah.
This is a joy. So ready to get focused with you all this next year. And so thank you, Channy, for this.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Do I leave now?
Or you can sit.
Yeah,
Just
and that's
chill.
it for us tonight. We're the Artists in Residence, and we have 2 more programs coming your way on November 16th. We're building our own Dream Ethnic Aisle here in the Greene Space. And on December 5th, we're hosting our very own MashUp Book Fair with author talks, shopping, and, like all the best stories right before Hanukkah. Tickets are available now at thegreenspace.org.
Yes, and our new season of the podcast is live. It is out now. This week's episode has Channy Nicholas. And the whole season is about the ultimate guide to a mashup life. We have so many good guests: Randall Park, Rainn Wilson,
Lisa Ling, Jeff Chang, Jonathan Menjivar.
A lot of people.
This will be on there. So listen wherever you get your pods. Thank you to Minjin Lee and Channy Nicholas.
Thank you to the incredible team at the Greene Space: Jennifer, Ryan, Amber, Ricardo, Kate, Christina, Eric, Chase, Liv, James.
Yes.
We love you.
Okay, so
And
the party's moving there. There's tarot cards.
there's drinks. There's bars.
drinks. And so we'll see you right outside.
Love
Thank you.
you.